We're taught our whole lives that more is better, right? More knowledge, more tools, more options. That's the path to success. But what if I told you that's, well, completely backward, especially in something as intense as trading? What if the real experts, the absolute best in the game, get there by doing less? It sounds crazy, but the secret might just be about making things radically simple. And that right there, that's the paradox at the heart of all this. A beginner, they look at simplicity and think, okay, that's where I start. But the expert, they know simplicity is the goal, it's the finish line. Beginners are collectors, they hoard strategies, pile on indicators, thinking every new piece of information is going to give them an edge. The expert, though, they've been down that road and they know it's a dead end. And man, this is such an easy trap to fall into. Think about it. When you're in a complex, high-pressure situation, having 10 different strategies isn't a strength, it's a weakness. It just means you have 10 ways to get confused, 10 opportunities to second-guess yourself, 10 voices screaming in your head. And when things get real, that overload, it just leads to freezing up, to making dumb mistakes. Experts aren't cutting things out because they're lazy. No way. They're doing it to find total, absolute clarity. Okay, so if more is the enemy, what's the answer? Well, it all comes down to a ruthless, almost obsessive focus on one specific number. And that number is 3. Yup, exactly 3. Not 10, not 5, just 3. So why 3? Well, it's kind of the magic number. It's just enough to let you adapt to whatever the market is throwing at you, but it's small enough that you can actually master each one. Your brain isn't getting swamped with decision fatigue. It's that perfect sweet spot between being flexible and being laser-focused. And here's where the real genius of this whole power of 3 thing kicks in. Think about this quote for a second. If you're juggling, say, 10 different strategies and you have a great month, what actually worked? Was it one strategy? Was it a mix? Was it just blind luck? The truth is, you have no idea. But when you only have 3, now you can see what's what. You can isolate what's working, track the results, and actually sharpen your edge like a razor. So really, it comes down to 2 totally different paths. Over here on the left, you've got the amateur. They're just drowning in options, swamped by emotional noise, and they honestly can't even tell you if they have a real advantage or not. But then, on the right, you have the expert. By mastering just those 3 setups, they find that mental clarity. They can scientifically pinpoint their edge and make it better. It's not even the same sport at that point. All right, so what does this look like in the real world? It's not like you just pick 3 setups out of a hat. No, each one is a precision tool designed for a very specific job, a specific market condition. It's all about matching the tool to the job at hand. And here they are. These are the only 3 tools we'll find in the expert's entire toolkit. That's it, and each one is built to answer that one crucial question. What is the market doing right now? So let's do a quick breakdown of when you'd pull out each one. Okay, first up, if the market is clearly going somewhere, it's trending hard, either up or down, you pull out the structure break and retest. Simple. The goal here isn't to fight the current, it's to find a smart, high-probability moment to jump on board. It's kind of like hopping onto a moving train while it's slowing down at the station, instead of trying to chase it down the tracks at full speed. Next, what if the market isn't going anywhere? What if it's just bouncing back and forth between a floor and a ceiling? Well, you switch tools. This is when you use the premium and discount zone setup. Think of it like a game of ping pong in a really narrow hallway. You're just trading the bounces off the walls, looking to buy near the floor and sell near the ceiling. It's all about that predictable rotation. And finally, our third scenario. What happens when the market gets quiet? When it's compressing, coiling up like a spring, just building up all this energy for a big move. That's when you use the consolidation breakout. This one is all about patience. You're waiting for that spring to finally snap, for the market to pick a direction, and then you trade that explosive release of energy. Now, here's the absolute key, and it applies to all 3 of these setups. The secret ingredient? It's discipline. It's patience. An expert doesn't just see a pattern and jump in feet first. Nope. They wait. They wait for the market to prove to them that the setup is real. That little pause, that waiting for confirmation, that's everything. It's what turns a wild guess into a calculated move. So how do we put all these pieces together? Well, it becomes this beautifully simple, repeatable process, a decision chain that takes all that messy analysis and turns it into clean, clear action. And this is literally the whole thing, right here. 4 steps. Step 1, you look at the market and ask, what's the condition? Are we trending, ranging, or coiling up? Step 2, Your answer to that question tells you exactly which of your 3 tools to grab. Step 3, you patiently wait for that confirmation signal. And finally, step 4, if all the lights are green, you execute. And if even one of them is red, you do nothing. You just walk away. It's that simple, that clear, and it's totally non-negotiable. And this whole idea, it goes way beyond just trading. This really brings us to a huge universal principle about what it takes to master anything. It's this core idea of choosing depth over breadth. I mean, just let this one sink in. You don't need more. You need to know more about less. Real, world-class skill isn't about knowing a little bit about 100 different things. It's about knowing everything about 2 or 3 truly critical things. The success you're chasing, it isn't tied to how many tools you have in your toolbox. It's tied to how deeply you understand the few you use. And seriously, this is a universal law. Think about it. Learning a musical instrument, starting a company, mastering a sport. It doesn't matter. The path to the top is almost always paved by all the things you decide not to do. It's about clearing away the noise so you can pour every ounce of your energy into what actually moves the needle. It's the art of taking something complex, simplifying it, and achieving something truly profound. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. Where in your own life could you achieve so much more just by focusing on less? What are the vital few things for you? Where are you spreading yourself thin, chasing breadth when you really should be digging deep? Give that some real thought, because honestly, finding the answer to that question, it could change absolutely everything.